Hey guys, my name is Valentine Lister. Welcome to my channel. And today we are going to go over the Nine of Cups, and this is part of my series on the minor arcana for the suit of cups. So for this card, I'm going to go over everything you need to know about it. The astrology of the card, the major arcana rulers of this card. If you didn't know there were rulers, now you know. All of this hidden symbolism in the card, as well as usually I go over the numerology and the upright and the reversed meanings. Before we get started, I just wanted to let you guys know about a free resource that I'm offering, that I want you guys to know about it if it's going to help you guys. So it's my free tarot and astrology cheat sheet. And this is a resource where it's a document where I list out all of the tarot cards and all of the associations with the zodiac signs, the planets, the elements. So you have it written out for you. I had trouble finding it written out in one resource. That's why I made it. So if you're interested in that, that is in the description box below underneath the timestamps, and you can get that as a thank you for joining my mailing list. All right, guys, so let's get into the Nine of Cups. Okay, so the Nine of Cups. So I gave this card a little nickname to help you understand it a little better. And my nickname for this card is Your Wish Comes True. So that gives you an idea of the flavor of this card. Okay, I'm going to bring in the major arcana rulers of this card, which will really tie in a lot to the meaning of the card and ties into the astrology. All right, so this card is ruled by the Wheel of Fortune and the Moon. Why? Because the Nine of Cups is associated with Jupiter in Pisces. So we have Jupiter here in the Wheel of Fortune wearing the zodiac sign costume of Pisces, represented by the Moon card. And so the Nine of Cups is like what these cards, right? If Jupiter's wearing the zodiac sign costume of Pisces, what is that going to look like in everyday life? Well, it's going to look like this guy here. Also, for those of you who are astrologists and want to know about this, this card is associated with the second decan of Pisces. Okay, I'm going to get right into the hidden symbolism insights, and I keep the rulers of the card because a lot of times like the symbolism shows up in this card. Not as much here. It's not as easy to see like how these cards tie in. So you have to know more of the meaning of the card. So I'll walk you through how I see it. So first of all, Jupiter in Pisces is right at home because Pisces is the traditional ruler. So it's doing pretty well, as you can see in the Nine of Cups. This guy is looking pretty good. So there may be some of you who take issue with that, but I've known a lot of Pisces, people with Pisces energies, who have that Jupiter luck, like where I was like, there's no way things are going to work out. Like, even like this is going to end bad. I don't know if they're going to live like past the age of 25. And then it not only works out, but it's like the happy ending. It's like this. It's like the scene from the end, like the end of like a happy movie. It's like the happy ending that we all want. And we're like, how did that happen? Well, because Pisces is ruled by Jupiter, guys. All right. Anyway, I'm a traditional Hellenistic astrologer. So that's who I take as the ruler. I do use Neptune with transit, but I don't use it as a ruler because that's, if you're a Hellenistic astrologer, that's generally how you're looking at it. Oh, but anyway, with those happy endings, like it's not an accident that things worked out for them. Because if you're Jupiter ruled, like you know how to roll with the punches. You know, you have a sense of when you should do things, when you shouldn't. That intuition and like how the universe works is like really strong. So with Jupiter, the Wheel of Fortune is the ups and downs of life. And with this association of Jupiter, it means it's for a higher purpose and meaning. So we have faith, full faith that things will work out when it comes to Jupiter. So how does the symbolism of the Wheel of Fortune tie in? So again, it's harder to see, but the first thing I noticed is that this guy's face is orange, okay? Just like the Hermanubis here on the wheel, okay? And he represented intellect and creation of astrology, also a bit of a trickster. And the other thing is like he's in this garment and it's kind of cloud-like and gray. So that's similar to the gray clouds in here. And I'm going to bring up the colors in my description here. I'm not going to put a separate section today for this card. But his garment is kind of like these clouds here, and they're like the clouds of wisdom because it's mixing of black and white. And then he's surrounded by this like blue round table here. and he's surrounded by that, and it's kind of like how like this wheel is surrounded by the blue sky. You see all the blue sky here, and that blue represents compassion, mental clarity, and serenity. Um, and then he's surrounded by like all gold next, right? And so we see in the Wheel of Fortune, we have the gold figures like as this next layer, and they had represented the four evangelists, four disciples, and they're represented by the four fixed signs of the zodiac. So Scorpio, Aquarius, Leo, and oh my God, I missed, oh, Taurus. I think I got them all. If I didn't, sorry. Okay. So the gold and yellow, that represents the truth, the soul, optimism, enthusiasm, courage, and confidence. Okay, so I'm going to move into like, why is this guy so joyful? Well, he's willing to look at the difficulties in life and embrace them. So remember, in the moon card, the moon shows it the waxing phases. So waxing crescent, first quarter, full moon, again, which again are the phases that are difficult emotionally, because we have to address problems that we've put on the back burner, and the universe makes us deal with it. That's what the waxing phases of the moon are. So in the moon card, also known as Pisces, we look at these difficulties and try to find harmony between our wild animal soul, or wild animal self, the soul, and the domesticated dog, which is life on earth. So the goal in the moon card is to find a peaceful truth from a higher mind, so that we aren't so overwhelmed by the emotions of things, although emotions are important. So we find, we call this guy Pisces, right? We find Pisces having steadiness, like sitting on this bench. And so I wanted to associate just the last thing of like this bench is kind of like this domesticated dog life on earth. And then this yellow that he's grounded in is the light of the soul. It's the wild animal self. Love that so much. So basically, Jupiter can handle anything because no matter how difficult it gets, how hard emotionally and mentally, it's all part of a bigger plan. And we can find inspiration in the dark places too. All right, so the numerology of the card, this card is associated with the number 9. So 9 is all about the end of a cycle, wisdom through experience, integration. It's the last number before we restart at 10. 10 is like 1 plus 0 equals 1, and it represents compassion, tolerance, and humanitarianism, completion, wholeness, satisfaction. It also represents the intellect. The upright meaning. So this card is traditionally called the wish card, and it means you get everything your heart desires. So that's not my experience with it. That is just like the wish card. My experience is that when it has come up, trials and tribulations and difficulties do come up, right? That day when I've journaled about it. But you know that they're for a purpose, and you make the best of it. And then the best really does come out of it. You realize that luck comes from embracing life as it is and loving it. So examples from my tarot journal, like when I wrote down, is that like I found a little secretary desk for my room, which is like this small like space saver desk that's kind of old school. But now that we have laptops, we can use it again, right? So I found that for my room to work at, which is awesome solution because I don't have a private space to work at the moment, because the desk is in the den, which is shared. It's a shared space with my family. So it's kind of hard to get work done, especially like when the kids are home, and we live with my father-in-law who's retired. So it's like been interesting. Other day I've gotten this card. My 9-year-old has made breakfast and she made smoothies for all of us. That was awesome. Awesome. So I didn't have to make breakfast that day. I actually went shopping with the kids that day. Couldn't find what I wanted. Ate cupcakes for lunch. Found something else I had been looking for. And the sales associate gave me a great discount. I've also noticed, like on that day, I noticed I was like criticizing myself a lot for like the money I was spending. And then I realized like maybe the problem is not like the money, but how I'm criticizing myself. Like that's a problem. Okay, it's a problem. I also, later that day, I saw a video where a Christian and an atheist were having a beautiful civil discussion on a day I pulled this card. Like they came from extreme perspectives, loved each other. That is so awesome. That's so Jupiter and Pisces. So I encourage you guys to start a tarot journal if you have not. And I have a video on that, which I'll link up here and put in the description below, because that practice in and of itself will help you understand these cards like way more than just like telling you the descriptions about it. All right, the reversed meaning of this card. So if this card comes out reversed, the energy is being blocked or avoided. However, like with this card, honestly, I haven't experienced anything bad with this card reversed. In fact, like those days are usually better than getting this card upright. I noticed that I'm more reflective on these days though. So maybe that means the reversal. Sometimes the reversals can mean reflection, like inner experience. So on one of the days I got this card reversed, I ordered a book on Greek myths because I wanted to learn more about that. So I felt like that's very Jupiter, like learning about the mythology of the gods and goddesses. And on another day, my husband took me on a surprise date and we went to a place on the water that was heavenly. Another day, I just was reflective and was grateful. We didn't have any flooding or any problems from a hurricane that destroyed like houses in nearby counties. And I was visiting somebody there. So basically in reverse, it's like luck and blessings coming without effort. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed this video on the Nine of Cups. If you like this video, this is a reminder to make sure that you like, subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified for whenever I release my next video. And the next video is going to be on the Page of Cups. Also, make sure to share this video out if you really liked it, you found value in it. Share it with other people who may enjoy it. And if you want to catch up on the other cards that I've done, I'm going to put a minor arcana playlist right here for you. I've gone through all of the wands and I'm getting through the ends of the cups. And I'm going to put a related video that I think you might like up here. All right, love you guys so much. Take care. Bye. If you like this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified for whenever I release a new video every single week.